Elementary and an OERB Master Teacher. Today's lesson, Water is Fun, is brought to you by the people of Oklahoma's oil and natural gas. Let's get started. Have you ever wondered how water bugs walk on the surface of the water? Water has some pretty interesting properties. Today we're going to explore a few of those properties like surface tension and cohesion. Before we begin, you'll need to gather some supplies from around your house. I've attached a worksheet called Water Fun. This is where you'll be able to make some predictions and draw some of your observations. You'll also need some foil. Just a couple of small pieces will work. A couple of pennies, some water, some oil. You can use mineral oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. Those will all work. You're also going to need some droppers. One for your oil and one for your water. You can use eyedroppers, medicine droppers. You can even use straws. Just put your finger over the end and gently release one drop at a time as you do this. You're also going to need either some cups or a couple of glasses. Mine are labeled oil and water. You don't have to label them as long as you know the difference between the two. Okay, go gather your supplies, and when you get back, we'll get started. For our first activity, place two pieces of foil side by side. Then, place your pennies heads up in the center of those pieces of foil. Next, use your dropper and place 5 drops of water in the center of your first penny. Then do the same with your drops of oil. Be careful, don't want to squeeze too hard. Once you have your drops of oil and water in your penny, now you want to take some time to do what most scientists do to make some observations. Look at your pennies, look at the drops of oil and water. Are they the same? Are they different? Even look at them from eye level on the side. Now compare and contrast. Once you've made some observations, now would be a great time to take your worksheet and draw what the water and oil drops look like from the side view of your penny. Take some time, pause if you need to, and then we'll discuss. You probably noticed that the water drops look like a dome or a large bubble on top of the penny, and the oil wasn't quite as bubbly. The oil looks flat. That's because water and oil are both made up of molecules, but it just so happens that water molecules are more cohesive than oil molecules. Cohesive means sticky, like glue or magnets. Water molecules are made up of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. The hydrogen atom of one water molecule is cohesive to the oxygen atom of another water molecule. They come together like magnets. That's why the penny with the water drops looks more like a dome, while the penny with the oil looked flat as a pancake. Water molecules are more cohesive and stick together better than oil molecules. Now let's try another experiment to test just how cohesive water molecules really are. You can use the same cup you used with your last experiment. You'll want a tray or a cake pan just in case the water spills over the edge. You're going to need more water and quite a few pennies. You can see I've gathered quite a few from my house. Take a minute, pause the video, go gather your supplies, and when you get back, we'll begin. Take your clear plastic cup and fill it all the way to the top with water. You probably noticed I filled mine all the way to the edge, but I didn't spill any yet. Now we're going to take our worksheet and we're going to make a prediction. How many pennies do you think you can drop into the center of this cup of water without the water spilling over the edge? Make your prediction, and as soon as you finish making your prediction, you can begin. Take 1 penny at a time, drop it into the center of the cup. Keep doing this until you spill water over the edge. Wow, that was cool. Did you make a prediction that was way too low? I know I sure did. My prediction was 20, and I was able to hold 52 before my water spilled over the edge. Take a moment, look at your cup from eye level. Do you notice the big dome of water that's on the top of your cup? Just like the dome of water that formed on the penny when you added 5 drops of water. So what's causing this to happen? This is what we call surface tension. And depending on how careful you were probably able to get quite a few pennies into your cup before it spilled. You should have noticed that the surface of the water curved more and more with every penny you added. Surface tension kept the water from spilling over. Instead, the water rose above the surface of the cup. This is pretty neat. Now let's try a new water experiment. For this experiment, you'll need a bowl, more water, and some small paper clips. 2 or 3 is plenty. You'll start by filling your bowl about halfway full of water. And now you're going to gently place the paper clips on the surface of the water without them falling through to the bottom. This is pretty tricky. It might take you a couple of times to get it. Let's see if we can do it. See, even with a lot of practice, you still might have to try it a few times. Awesome. So once you have some paper clips floating, I want you to make some observations. What's happening? Use your worksheet to draw a picture of what happened when you placed the paper clips in the bowl. Let's discuss. Even though this seems to defy the laws of physics, the steel paper clips can indeed float on the surface of the water, which is somewhat hard to believe because steel paper clips are definitely more dense than the water. The water molecules, however, are so cohesive that the steel paper clips are unable to break through the surface tension. Now for our final water activity and magic trick. You will need the same bowl with your floating paper clips in it. You will also need some pepper and some dish soap. For this experiment, all you're going to do is add a little bit of pepper to the surface of your water. Just sprinkle it around a little bit. Once you've added some pepper, now you're going to take and place 1 drop of soap on your index finger. And you can rub it around if you want a little bit. Submerge your finger in the center of the bowl. What did you observe? Use your worksheet to explain what happens to the surface tension when you add dish soap to the water. Let's discuss what just happened. Although the cohesion molecules between water is quite strong, surface tension can be disturbed by dish soap and other chemicals. The dish soap actually weakens the bonds between the molecules and it results in a break in the water's surface tension. In the oil and gas industry, properties of water like cohesion play an important part. When oil comes out of the ground, it's a mixture of oil, gas, and water. These 3 things go into a separator tank, and because of cohesion, water molecules stick to water molecules, separating itself into a separate layer away from the gas and oil. Well, I hope you've had as much fun today as I have. Water isn't just fun to swim in, it's also fun to experiment in. Okay friends, my challenge to you is to create your own experiment involving surface tension and water. If it's okay with your parents, be sure to share your surface tension experiment on social media via Instagram and Facebook using the tag @OERBOK. Bye!